What is up, everybody? Wagme Capital here. We're coming at you on this fine Tuesday. Going to recap the day in SPY, and then also actually had a swing trade on XOM. I wanted to go over with you. That turned out to be a big winner. It ran actually 300% just right off the bat. Let's start with SPY. So if you guys check out my blog, which again, I'll post the link to in the description, but I had my setup for today posted on there, and I kind of had an unusual one just because when you look at the daily chart of SPY last week, so 2 weeks ago, flush. Last week, all 5 of these bars are last week, very range bound, like very choppy, consolidated, all of these played within almost the same range. Yesterday, we had a big breakout, and I thought we were going to be a choppy again. We pushed up again. So, the past few days, recovered a lot of the ground we lost 2 weeks ago. But so setting up for today, I had a pretty unusual setup. Instead of doing a couple key levels, I had different zones. So this between these was one zone. This orange line is the high of yesterday. This was zone 2, and this was zone 3, or 1, 2, and 3. I normally don't do this, and I actually didn't love doing it. But if you remember yesterday, we just had a couple different legs. So this was the start of yesterday. We had consolidation box here, right? And then broke out. Then we came back with a consolidation box here, broke out. Then we had a consolidation box here, broke out. So I was, and then, even here. So I was expecting something similar. We'd have a lot of consolidation and then quick pushes up and or down when we break out of it. So that's why I like these zones. I was like, hey, we're going to bounce around here. Once we break out, let's rip. Didn't really play out that way. It kind of just played between this zone and this zone, right? So just for a quick second, let's say we delete these, these zones would have played pretty well. But yeah, I was just going for the zones, kind of weird, probably won't do it again, but let's kick it off. So we start with this outside candle here. So we break yesterday's high, flip back down, catches the EMA cloud, and outside candle from yesterday's close. Still above the high though. We push down, then we break below the high, go all the way down to our other level, which this is exactly what I was expecting. We're bouncing in this zone, right? We're wicking down but can't close below. Then once we get below, it's a free fall till this next zone, which is exactly what happened. But then we get a little choppiness. So this is the classic flush, couple candles up, big flush down below this zone. So right here, based on my setup, I was thinking we just push lower. We broke this level. We're outside the zone. We have a perfect retest here. I actually bought puts here on this retest. It did not flush. We recover. I'm looking big, bearish candle, EMA clouds flipping. We're below this zone. There's no really key levels of support or resistance here. But we recovered. We were wicking down, recovered. Then we get a little chop, a lot of wicks here, right? Look at this EMA cloud. First of all, it's so thin. And second of all, it's flipping, to red, to green, back to red. So we break out of the zone. We come right back in. We're chopping around the zone. We break out, big push up to the next zone. We can't break this level, but we fall below the high of yesterday. And then we're just kind of chopping around for most of the day. So this is kind of what I was expecting. Look at this, this is what, 8:05 to noon. So this is Pacific time. For 4 hours today, we're just chopping around. There are plays, right? Outside candle break below, inside candle break up. You could have found a little bit of scalping here, but there's no real big moves here. I thought it was going to be choppy, and it was. My zones were just a little bit off. But thesis was pretty on point. Then at the end of the day here, we have a push up. And so SPY ended up trading up slightly. I think it was 0.7% up on the day. So that was that. Not a great day. I think I had one winner and a couple losers, so basically flat. But more interestingly, I think is the daily setup on SPY. So kind of what I want to do here. Let me just do this live. So I will be posting my setup for tomorrow on my blog, guys. I think I might start a newsletter where I email out this video recap with some text commentary, and then also my setup for tomorrow. So you guys can kind of get a sense of what I'm looking at and then how today went. So let's set this up. So this is the high and low of today. But this daily setup, so obviously we've been pushing up. This EMA cloud is on the rise, like looking to flip if it can even catch up. But what I really like here, so if we do this, we see this key level. See this right here? We reach a top here, and then when we get back here a second time, we kind of bounce around. So let me zoom in on that. Okay, so right here, this is where we see the first kind of pullback. So if you think of SPY, this is the daily chart. Like, I mean, look at this. It is just on the rise. So this is like the COVID dip, right? March of 20. It's just, I mean, it's a little ups and downs, but like this rips. Like this is just ripping. And then the first kind of dip comes right at this level that we're actually at now. Okay. So right here, this is where it kind of flips. So this is a pretty key level, like just a macro sense for SPY right here. So what's the high of this candle is 454.05, which is basically the high of today. So you can see we got to this level and then push back down. So like this is pretty key. And then right here too, we get to it, we can't break above it, red candle outside, push above, and then immediately push back down toward it. Like it's a key level for me. Okay. And so I will do more detail on my blog about what kind of plays I'm thinking of. But guys, remember, you don't want to guess this is going to break above. Like, so I think this level, which actually is pretty close to our high of yesterday, if we break above this, that's some resistance. And then I think we could see a big push up tomorrow to just continue. Like a lot of bulls we're pushing up. And if the people that were shorting here have to sell, like I think we could just, make a push to all-time highs in the next coming weeks. But I'm not going to assume that's going to happen. You don't guess, okay? You want to wait and see the play happen. So this is my level. I'm not going to buy unless we break it. So let's see what after hours is doing. Okay, we're already above it. So we'll see if we open above it tomorrow. But that's what I'm looking for, okay? Like maybe I'll play some swing trades, maybe like a lotto weekly, something like that, where I'm not going to, be victim to the choppiness of the day. I'm just counting on the daily candle being a big push up like we've seen the past couple of days. And once we get past this key level. So that's what I'm looking at tomorrow. Now let's look at my swing trade on XOM. Okay. So, I mean, look at that green candle. I was ripping. This was a 300% gain in like the first hour of the day. So how did I see this? So I was looking at the weekly chart outside candle, which is always like a good indication of trapped traders, right? So if you break above it, you want to buy calls. If you break below it, you want to buy puts. So I saw this and was like, okay. And then yesterday, so let's draw this key level here. If we draw this, what's the high of this candle? 76.01. Okay. So then we go to the day chart. So yesterday, this is yesterday, January 31st, we closed like right at it, right? So this is 76.01, and this closed at 75.96. So I bought calls yesterday because we wicked above it. So when we wicked above it, remember, this is last week's high on an outside candle. So I bought calls yesterday, and then today, look at this 5-minute chart today. I mean, this was the open, and this is what, an hour into trading, like literally just green candles straight up, big ripper. So that was my swing trade. So I'm going to be looking for more setups like this again, just because SPY is at such a key level on the daily chart that I think if we could break this resistance, we could see a big push upward. So I'm going to be looking for other stocks that are also at key levels that, if the market's moving up, I'm going to assume these stocks are also moving up. And if they, like SPY, can break this key level, we could see some more rips. So check out my blog. Again, I'll post the daily setup there. So it'll have this recap video, a quick commentary if you didn't make it all the way to the end, and then tomorrow's setup. So I'll have some tickers for you guys to keep an eye on tomorrow. Hope you learned something. We'll see you again tomorrow. Good luck trading, everyone. And until next time.